Hi everyone, my name is Julie Cruz, and this is the story about the teacher who changed my life. I'm there for the outcome, not for the income. Those are the words that inspired me and solidified my decision to become an elementary school teacher. Michelle Arbelias is a teacher who guided me and allowed me to explore the world of teaching through her classroom. Before I decided to pursue my teaching credential, I was lost. I had so many doubts in my ability to teach, in my ability to succeed, and in myself. After volunteering in Miss Arbeliza's classroom, my fate was decided, and it was like something in me had clicked, and it was like I was put onto this earth to teach. And finally, I knew where I belonged, back in the classroom. As a senior in high school, like many of my peers, I had no idea what the heck I was going to do. I knew I had to go to college, especially as a first generation college student, and I had to set the standard and get my degree, even if I didn't know what it would be in. Both my parents dropped out of high school at the age of 17 when they had me and my brother. So in my heart, I knew I had to do the right thing and do more for them so that I could give back to them one day. I declared my major as child and adolescent development because even though I had no experience with children, it was the only major that struck out to me. Flash forward to 4 years, I'm in my senior year of undergrad and I still have no idea what I'm going to do with my major. I mean, sure, child and adolescent development was cool, and I learned so much about the development of tiny humans. But I still found myself stuck, because although I loved it, there was always something missing passion. It wasn't until I stepped into Miss Arbeliza's third grade classroom where I would discover this newfound passion for teaching. But before this event, I met with a counselor to explore my options. Teaching seemed impossible as a CHAD major. There were so many obstacles and hoops I had to jump through, from subject competency exams, background checks, permits, extracurricular classes, and applications. It also all felt so impossible, especially in the span of a year. I had to pass 3 subtests within the span of a year, and it was recommended I take them as soon as possible before the application was due. I felt lost, unmotivated, and defeated because all my friends were liberal studies majors and didn't need to do any of the things I needed to do. I always felt so far behind because as my friends were advancing through their classes, I was feeling lost and stuck behind because I had even more for myself to do. I decided one day I needed to place myself in a teaching setting, so I decided to volunteer in a classroom and help as a teacher's aide. It was then that my fate was decided in Miss Arbelias's third grade classroom. My first day of volunteering, I was so nervous. Would the kids like me? Would I be good at this? What if I mess up? What am I going to do if this isn't for me? As these thoughts raced my mind into walking to the classroom, I also felt excitement. I was eager to help and meet these new kids. The moment I walked into the classroom, I felt at ease and I felt comfortable. Miss Arbelias introduced me to the kids, and I felt such immense joy from the eagerness that these kids showed towards me. They probably have no idea how much they impacted my life. My duties while volunteering included one on one reading sessions with those kiddos who needed extra help, organizing, assisting with lesson plans, cleaning, and math help, and I loved every single second of it. During recess, Mrs. Arbelias would talk to me about her passion for teaching. I asked her millions of questions, and she answered each one with such joy and excitement. She told me how important it is for kids to have role models that look like them, and I thought about all the Spanish speaking kids who looked like me. She talked about the problems with the education system and how badly we needed to resolve them, and she also talked about how little teachers get paid and how rewarding it really is. It felt like these obstacles and hoops were slowly getting smaller because this conversation really opened up my eyes and sparked this domino effect into my life. It felt like these things that were light work compared to the dream that was waiting for me at the finish line. I worked hard for months, studied for days and hours, volunteered when I could, and I did all I could because I knew I was destined to be a great teacher. I passed all 3 subtests within a span of a year. I was accepted into my credential program with bilingual authorization, and I am beyond excited to start my journey as a teacher. I have such admiration for Michelle Arbelias because without her, who knows where I'd be. I could have a fancy job or I'd be working at a daycare, but I know in my heart I wouldn't be happy. And if you were to ask me if I could go back and change my major to liberal studies when I could, I would tell you no. because I would do it all over again to discover this newfound intense passion I have for teaching. As a teacher, I hope to be kind like Michelle Arbelias. I hope to teach my kids about the joys of life, but also teach them how to be good humans. I believe that teaching children about empathy and respect is equally as important as math and science concepts. Miss Arbelias taught me the importance of representation and how essential it is to have people who look like them shown in their everyday lives. As scientists, engineers, astronauts, as teachers like me. I also hope to one day be a great teacher like Miss Arbelias. I hope to be a teacher my students never forget because although Miss Arbelias was never my teacher, she will always be my favorite one.